Yeah, let's
So
see.
today we're just hanging out. We're going to talk probably, I don't know, maybe an hour. We're going to talk about MGS.
We can do this one.
2. Interesting, you went right in on that.
I can do that one.
Okay.
And I could do these two. I know how to do those two.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's mess around with those first.
Okay.
Let's just mess with those
right.
and let's mess with each other. I am very sad that a former U.S. president now has cancer.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, even though it's a president I disagreed with, I think he abused his power in many ways. I think that, I guess you could say that about like all of them.
Yeah, right.
I think that he pre-pardoning his family from crimes is like an insane step up of like overreaching authority.
Yeah.
All these things, right? I still don't like celebrate cancer. Like, I have had family members who had cancer. My dad died of cancer. I was his primary caretaker during that with my mom.
Yeah.
I know what cancer is like. It eats you. It eats your family. Like, it's a monster. And it's one of the sickest, like, saddest ways to die because you, like, waste away. The treatments make you waste away.
Yeah.
He might be fine, by the way. Like, you know, maybe he'll get treatment, he'll be fine. I don't know. Especially by now, because we're recording this ahead of time. But, like, I don't understand the sociopathic nature of people, that they're celebrating this. You know, like, it's crazy to me. Like, if he was Hitler or something, sure, I get it. I mean, it would still be, like, it's still a fucked disease.
Yeah.
But it would be like, okay, this guy murdered millions of people, now he's gonna get, like, a karmic justice, like, nature is gonna take care of him. It's like, I could see that. But, like, we're talking about a president who mostly was just a shitty figurehead, and at worst was kind of corrupt.
Yeah.
Why are we... You want the lice on you?
Well, I'm just gonna move on.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I think this is what I was going for.
Like, why do we want
never mind.
that to be a good... or why do we... Who sees this as a good thing, is my point.
Psychopaths.
Even if you hate the guy, like, he's not at the level of, like, someone we should be celebrating dying of cancer. That should be, like, a very, very niche group of people.
Right.
You know? Like, P. Diddy, after being confirmed as the diddler, maybe. Or Jeffrey Epstein. You know? Like, these are the kinds of guys that I think... Is that on purpose?
I hit the thing.
You didn't. You shot the C4.
Okay.
When the country inevitably falls apart, or at least, like,
there you go.
starts to decay more to the point where it needs, like, insane rebuilding, you know?
Yeah.
I think these people are all going to be confused, like, how did this happen?
Right.
Like, how did this country fall apart? Like, the Romans. The Romans were like, how could this have happened? We were the greatest society ever, because that's what they thought. Well, because you allowed your empire to crumble from the inside, you started hating yourselves.
Yeah. I'm gonna do a load game.
You know, like, there's this hatred of America from inside, where it's like, a lot of people, like, the biggest social commentators, they sit and they get fat and wealthy off of the country's corpse, gorging themselves on it and its economy. You look at some of the biggest, like, political streamers out there on, like, Twitch and YouTube and stuff. They're getting big off of capitalism while decrying capitalism.
Yeah.
They're getting big off of America while decrying America. And I think in the future, a lot of people's meal ticket is going to go away, first off, because there's not going to be a stable country to complain about because of partially what these people are doing.
Yeah.
But secondly, I think a lot of normal people who are like, you're like, yeah, get cancer and go,
Right.
idiot. I think a lot of them are not going to realize, wow, I was part of what killed this country. You know, like a piece at a time. And I have a point to this. In a way, the Patriots are right.
Patriots
Now,
in this one, you mean?
yes.
Yeah.
Because the Patriots are pointing out individual people have too much power.
Yeah.
You
right.
know? And individual people aren't meant to be able to go on the internet. Okay, here's an example of one, and you know who this guy is, mildly. You know Hassan Piker? Like, the big political streamer who's, like, always talking about how America's the worst, and about how Israel... In my opinion, he's basically saying stuff, like, about how Israel should die, and, like, the countries around them should destroy them type stuff.
Right.
Guys like this weren't necessarily meant to be able to go into a position of power without being elected or anything, where they can influence society to such a great degree.
Right.
You know, like, that they can stoke the fires of that. In the same way that, like, I don't think the Patriots would want a world where, like, a guy could get rich, like Donald Trump, and then become president without their say, right?
Yeah.
And so, in a way, I was thinking about this. The reason I said those two is they are the opposite ends of the spectrum I can think of.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And the Patriots would say, this is irresponsible. You know, like, you have people who they would say are unqualified to be in these positions. You know, like, because they didn't pick them and because they're not, like, the cream of the crop, right?
Yeah.
That's really funny. Why is that guy in his underwear?
That's a trophy.
What in the world? Did he forget to put his pants on? So then you have to go send that to Otacon?
Good.
Okay, he said good.
Good.
Yeah, you have to send that to Otacon. I need to look this up. I forgot what the other one in here was. There's 2 trophies in this area.
Do you kind of... Sorry. Do you kind of get my point, though? Like,
Yeah.
it's interesting to look at real life and see... I'm not saying the Patriots are, like, great people, right?
Yeah, right.
Obviously, the Patriots are wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that taking away freedom from others is wrong. That's totalitarianism. But when you see some of the people who do enter positions of power and how much a lot of people disagree with them, or how sometimes they might not be... trying to think of how to say this, because I don't even hate all these people. Okay. The Orange Man's a great example of this. Doesn't have a history in politics. Mm-hmm. Doesn't have a history in the military. By all accounts, is unqualified. Now, I'm not saying that he is unqualified. There's been stuff he's done that I've absolutely agreed with. You know?
Yeah.
But, like, the Patriots would look at that and say, no, hold on, this is reckless. You know, this is dangerous. And they would have a point. They would have a point of, like, this isn't someone who's proven that's crazy. Was that Kojima?
Yeah, that was Hideo Kojima.
That's so weird.
Now we gotta send those pictures to Otacon.
You know, they would have a point of saying, well, now hold on, this person doesn't have those qualifications.
Yeah.
You know, and we want to protect humanity, and we want, like, the best to do that, and they got to be under our thumb. Mm-hmm. It's interesting, though, to see in the real world how there are so many people who, one, wouldn't fit the Patriots' criteria, but two, that they would have a logical point about. You know, that you could look at, like, a streamer. Like, let's say that I got 150 million subscribers. Let's say I just, like, made PewDiePie look like a tiny channel.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I went around running my mouth on all kinds of stuff that I maybe am not qualified to talk about. Like, maybe it's... I have the freedom to talk about it, but maybe I don't have a history of qualifications or anything like that. Like, I start talking about economics, and I'm giving you economic advice, or I start talking about politics, and I'm telling you my takes on politics. Yes, people subscribed and are watching that, but I am able to then influence and sway so many people based off of that audience. And the Patriots' point is, now hold on, was the individual meant to have that level of sway?
Yeah.
It's interesting to look at our world, as my point, and see that. Mm-hmm. And kind of see, like,
Metal Gear.
Examples of people the Patriots would, one, hate, but two, might have a logical point about with their standpoint. I guess I wanted your opinion on that. I'm not trying to sit here and say, by the way, love the shadow government, let's, like, usher in totalitarianism.
Right.
I'm just saying it's interesting. Kind of like how you can look at Star Wars, and you can look at the Separatists, and they're, like, the bad guys, but then you look at the Republic, and you're like, oh, okay, I can see why they didn't want to be a part of this. I can see why they think this. This is a logical standpoint.
Yeah, and you're kind of like, who is the bad guys, really?
Yeah, like, I mean, even in this, like, we go and we kill Solidus, and the dude was trying to take down
I
the
totally
Patriots.
agreed with him. I totally agreed with Solidus.
But the problem was he was also trying to kill you.
Yeah.
And he was also a monster.
Right.
I mean, he created child soldiers, and he had no remorse for that.
Right.
So it's like he was still a bad guy, but his goal, you get it. You get his goal.
And those are the best kind of villains, I think.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, well, first of all, let me send this picture and then you can see what it says.
Okay.
Because it's kind of funny. Have you seen this before?
I've seen some of them, like...
Oh, any codec moments from you, Snake?
I actually...
First image is...
Watch this. Wait, no, I'm not this
Don't
one.
send me creepy stuff like this. What if I get possessed or something?
Doesn't he say a similar thing with
Sorry, but this
Otacon,
doesn't
or with,
work. I hate to
Ocelot?
ask, but can you try again?
I don't know.
With Ocelot's arm or whatever? I think he said
Yeah.
a similar thing.
Watch this next one.
So, what's the last one gonna be? This is hilarious! This rules. But we can't use it. Get the shots we need.
Otacon really
We
liked
need
that.
4 images.
That's really funny.
The front and the front left. And
I kind of wish that Otacon...
I like how it's called sexting.
I wish that you had been able to talk to Otacon a little more in this game.
I know, right?
Like, I feel like the tanker part could have been its own game.
Yeah,
Don't you?
I agree.
I don't know. I felt like the tanker part was a little short
Yeah.
for what we were... I don't know. What do you think about that, though? The whole Patriots thing with all of that.
Well, I mean, I get their point. I mean, with America, you see this, like, with, I think, a good example of this country and how, like, much it's rotted from the inside out is, well, first of all, people, like, actually celebrating, like, someone getting cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Or people being disappointed that he got cancer and being like, it was the wrong guy.
Right, we should redirect his cancer.
Like, that's just an example of, like, dude, we are rotted.
Yeah.
Second of all, you can also see this with, like, our politicians, too. Like, there's a lot of politicians around the country that are just normal people. But there's also a lot of politicians around the country that you look at and go, regardless of political views, you're like, how is this person in the charge of the country?
Yeah.
And it's just like, who is electing these people? Well, I think it's just because our country is, like, so screwed over that for some reason we have, like, a lot of just idiots in this country. And it's idiots on both sides.
Yeah.
That just, they'll have some moron running, and it's like, where are all the good people? Because there are people that exist. There are people in this country that I think are good, solid, people that could actually make some good changes in this country.
Maybe even Solidus or
Maybe
liquid
Solidus,
people.
yeah, or, yeah, exactly.
Venom people.
Right. But it's like, why aren't these people running, and we have these morons? Maybe I'll do this one.
Well, I think a big part of it's...
Maybe that one.
do whatever you want. A big part of it's the military-industrial complex, too. I mean, it pushes people who are either rich or in the pocket of a rich company. Yeah, I mean, it pushes people who are either rich or want to get in the pockets of someone who's rich.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you're rich, you can afford to run, right? It don't matter. If you're in the pockets of someone who's rich, why don't you just let them kill you?
Okay.
If you're in the pockets of someone who's rich, then you have to do what they say.
Right.
No.
But
Jack, please answer
you don't
me.
have to fund yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of an interesting question.
Yeah, it's like, I think the Patriots are right about some of the stuff. I mean, even, gonna sound like the Orange Man here right now, fake news.
Yeah.
How much fake news is there on both sides of the political spectrum in America that is spread because we've given the individual power that the individual can't handle?
Yeah.
And it is true because they've proven they can't handle it. Like, if you are going around basically falsifying documents because you want your gang to win.
Yeah.
You've proven you can't handle... Dude,
I stopped and I was going to crouch down.
you can't stop.
What's going on?
You have to
Answer
press X
me.
while moving.
Jack,
Okay.
I'm just telling you, I didn't make the game here.
All right.
You came in here all high and mighty, like, I just started my playthrough, let me do these, I'll help you out.
Then
We're having, I don't know, like, we've decided to bring back DEI.
Okay.
We've decided to, like, throw out whoever's best for the job. They didn't get it because you're 1% Nigerian or something here.
Oh, no.
What?
That was racist.
I'm just saying, I checked your 23andMe,
Got it.
and I decided that you would be better for the job based off of nothing.
Got it. Okay.
So you just stay crouched while moving.
Okay, so I click
X.
X.
Keep going.
Okay. All right. Okay. He's got a huge bulge.
Yep, I was distracted by that too.
Anyways.
Don't you think, though, that, like, people...
go in my pants.
People who do that have proven that they can't handle their... I'm not saying take away their freedom of speech.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, there's a point there that they can't handle it, right?
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, they're just not mature enough. So, you're giving rights to people... This is so gross. You're giving rights to people who then abuse those rights.
Yeah.
And I think that was kind of the Patriots' point is, well, now hold on. Why should you have them then?
Yeah. If you can't handle them.
Yeah. What you were saying, can't you see how... I can see how there would be people who sided with the Patriots, genuinely. Who would say, like...
no, totally.
Who would say, like, you know what? The Patriots have done right by me.
Yeah.
Like, they put me in a position of power or whatever. I did what they asked.
Yeah.
I've lived a good life, and they've protected us.
Yeah.
There are people who genuinely would do that. They would say, our freedom... I mean, look at 9/11.
Yeah.
Like, 9/11, do you know what the federal government did? And one of the biggest reasons I don't really like George W. Bush.
Mm-hmm.
They seized power.
Yeah.
They were like, all right, TSA time, but, like, we don't care if they violate your rights or privacy or whatever. Fuck you.
Yeah.
All right, now we're going to listen in on all of your conversations. Oh, you're just a normal American citizen who's lived here for 30 years? Too bad. You might be a terrorist.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to follow you around, like the Patriot Act. Like, literally, they had the ability, legally had the ability. I know that they have the power to do this kind of thing anytime. But they legally had the ability to, like, hold you and question you for an undetermined amount of time.
Yeah.
And it could just be like, well, you're suspected of being a terrorist. You're not really being arrested, but you're being held on suspicion for your safety and the safety of others.
Yeah.
There were all of these excuses and all of these power grabs done during the George W. Bush presidency because of... and I don't even know if I'd say because of 9/11. I would say using 9/11 as an excuse.
Yeah.
To steal the freedoms of American people. And yet, guess what? There's a lot of people who are totally fine with it to this day.
Right.
And say, well, it made us safer.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Right.
I didn't need those freedoms. It made us safer.
Yeah.
And Snake's point and Raiden's point is, who the hell are you to decide that for everybody? And the Patriots' point is, we can make you safer. And they do.
Yeah.
They're not ineffective.
Right.
The Patriots aren't a joke, just like the federal government in real life is not some ineffective joke. And that's what I find so fascinating about this game. Even the stuff that is future, like looking to the future, like AI and all of that, which I do want to talk about a little bit today. Mm-hmm. Even if you put all of that aside, there is a modern political commentary based on freedom versus safety that is extremely relevant in this video game.
Yeah.
I would argue more relevant than many games. Mm-hmm. Or even books or pieces of fiction in general, because it kind of like... it kind of lures you into a sense of security, like of doing what you're told, and the game feels safer, and it's weird, you're kind of like asking questions, but it's like you're being handheld, kind of ushered along into what to do, and you don't have to think as much, and you're safer.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you step out of that in the game, you start kind of opposing the Patriots. All of a sudden, you're not so safe, you know? All of a sudden, it's like people are... I don't know, people are like... I don't know how to say it. It's like all of a sudden, you're not being told what to do anymore. You know, you don't know what's happening. You're kind of confused. Mm-hmm. You have more freedom and choice, but you don't have...
At what cost?
Safety.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's like you have to ask yourself which of those is more important. And it's like to Snake and Otacon, their whole position is, well, freedom.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, what is life without being free? Mm-hmm. But then Raiden kind of is being pushed by all these people to ask themselves that. To ask him that from their position of like, well, look at what these guys have done for society, you know? It's very fascinating to me. And, you know, you have the former president, Solidus. He rejects,
Yeah.
you know, the safety and security, and he wants to, like, overthrow it.
Is he orgasming?
I think he is.
Wow. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting distracted here.
Well, no, isn't that a pretty interesting... Also, I can stop, like, rambling about
No,
this
no,
stuff
that's
if you,
okay.
if
I'm
you
sorry.
find this not interesting.
I find it interesting. I'm just, like, watching this guy goon out. I mean, and this kind of morphs into maybe thoughts on this game. I think what we were going to talk about today.
That is what I was trying to talk about.
So you're leading into that conversation.
I was literally talking about that conversation. I was in the conversation.
Okay, anyways.
My whole point was that the villains have a point of this game. You can see it in real life.
Right.
And you can kind of like see the Patriots' point, but also, I don't know. I don't know. I think I had a point, and you completely bent me over with the casting theater here.
Okay, sorry. So this is what you have to do when we go to the end boss fight. You have to switch these out. These people have for rows and stuff.
Got it.
But anyways, so like I was saying,
oh, this is fun.
Yeah, it's from.
So why can't you play as this skin?
I don't know.
Maybe you can. I don't know.
It's kind of cool. I like it.
You can talk.
Oh, I didn't know if we were letting it play.
No.
Well, I was just saying, this game, and this is one of the reasons why I love Metal Gear Solid in general, 1 and 2, is, especially 2, the story of this game was made 20 years ago, but it's still something very relevant to this day. Mm-hmm. It's not something that's an old-fashioned story. It's not oh, it's only a part of that game or whatever. This is a very relevant story in modern day life, and I think it's kind of sad that a lot of people out there either don't care or don't want to care that, at least here in America, their lives have been overtaken since 9/11 with the government convincing them that this is for your own safety.
Right.
And to me, actually, if you go back to that, can you watch the end boss thing too? We can get that trophy. Yeah. No, Solidus versus... Yeah, it's Solidus versus Raiden. So you have to change Raiden to Rose, and then change Solidus to Raiden. But it's the government saying, yeah, this is for your own safety. We'll do all these things. Yeah, there you go. And a lot of people are yeah, okay. I like being safe. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of yeah, I agree. But at what cost to this?
Right, you're willing to let all of your freedom go.
Yeah, and people don't care.
That's what's crazy to me, is that they're willing to not care.
Yeah, and there are people, and the thing that's sad to me is there are people who bring this stuff up, and I mentioned Alex Jones on one of our last videos and stuff.
Right, because you're a big fan.
I'm a big fan. But there are people out there who bring this type of stuff up, and they just get made fun of. Mm-hmm. They get mocked. They get called crazy. They're conspiracy theorists. They're weird. They're wild. They're out there. Whatever. They're just right-wingers. Whatever other name you want to call it. What the heck?
What's with those DSLs?
And it's maybe some of them are a little weird or out there, but you just straight up don't care. You're just going throughout life in your safetyness, and you're whatever.
Right.
I don't know. But yet now we've given the government free reign to do whatever they want.
Yeah, we just...
And that's kind of what the Patriots' point is, in a way. Is saying, we'll protect you. We don't think the common man should have the ability, full access to everything. We look at, why is she floating?
I mean, she's entered God mode.
Got it. We'll protect you here. We'll do this right by you.
Right.
And so many people out there yeah, sounds good to me.
Well, what sucks is that they also do have a fair point, in a way. You watch people abuse their freedoms. You watch people, screw up over and over and over again, and spread falsifications of the news, literally, and they will...
Yeah, they'll just straight up lie.
Root for their team, and I mean, literally the celebrating cancer thing right here, that's an example, I think, of, wow, how much do you deserve your freedom?
Yeah.
Right. You suck.
Yeah.
And it's really unfortunate that people give... If the Patriots were real, they'd have plenty of examples to point to.
Yeah.
For why they're needed.
Right.
That's the point I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
And that's really unfortunate. That's the world we live in, that is okay with death as long as it's someone I don't care for.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and it's unfortunate that the world we live in is one that we've become so obsessed with our team that if someone on the other team dies, we've justified it.
Actually, we celebrate it.
We justify it and celebrate it, right? We celebrate it by saying, well, in my justification, this person is this, so therefore it's okay.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, now wait a minute here. That's... Like, I'm just going to be honest with you.
Psychotic?
It is psychotic, but also... Nobody in America, at least current politicians that we have right now, yes, this even includes Drumpf, no one in America is as bad as Hitler was in Germany.
Yeah.
We don't have that. You could disagree with people's politics. You could say, you can point out examples of maybe where things are somewhat similar to other dictators in the past, because I think there are examples on both sides where things are similar.
Yeah, like Hitler read books and, now...
Right.
Drumpf reads books. And
yeah, exactly.
You know, Hitler breathed there, and Biden breathed there, too.
Well, did you know that
They both
Donald Trump actually drank water?
Whoa!
So did Hitler.
So did Genghis Khan.
Yeah, I know. It's insane. But yeah, so it's like, there are things that you could say, well, this is somewhat similar, but no one in American politics is that bad. And yet we've justified it in our heads. We've gone, we've gone to the extreme, and now we've set in our heads that these people over there are Nazis. These people over there are communists. Mm-hmm. And, well, there probably are people in America who would actually identify as either of those. Like, they do exist.
Which is really unfortunate and sad and, I think, gross. Yeah.
I think most people out there are just kind of normal people. And most of these politicians out there are just American politicians.
Right, and a lot of them suck.
Yeah, and a lot of them suck.
And they deserve criticism, and some of them are evil.
Right. But, like,
But there's levels of evil.
Yeah.
There's, like, levels to it, I think is your point.
And, like, for example, again, this will probably date this, but just recently, Governor Tim Walz, who's the governor of Minnesota, was speaking at a college graduation ceremony at the University of Minnesota. And he used his time there to, like, go in this entire hate speech of Donald Trump. And he compared the modern day, like, ICE to the Gestapo by basically saying they're modern day Gestapo. And a lot of Jewish communities afterwards came out and like, called him out and were just like, that is a pretty gross comparison.
Yeah.
Like, what in the world? But I'm like, why are we at this point in society where that's what we say and that's what we view and we justify in our heads? No, I can call these people this because I want to, and I don't like them. So therefore I'm going to go to the extreme and tell myself that they are this. So then therefore now whatever I do or say against them is okay, even to the point of like, oh, Joe Biden has cancer. Why couldn't it have been Trump?
Or Joe Biden has cancer, yes.
Yeah, all right, Joe Biden has cancer.
Go ahead and die.
Yeah, it's like...
Actually, I've seen this...
This is dumb.
I don't want to go, like, off on a huge tangent, because this is, like, a very big political streamer who I mentioned a few minutes ago. I've noticed, like, that with that Hassan guy, like, more and more I notice him, like, implying, like, I wish this guy would just die.
Right.
Of, like, so many people.
And I'm like,
and
where are we?
I look at that and I see, millions of people watch you.
Yeah.
Like, that's the ideology you want to spread. Like, when you're dead, because you will die, everybody dies. Like, of old age or cancer or whatever.
Yeah.
An accident, whatever. When you're gone, that's what you want to be remembered for, the guy who wished death on others.
Right.
Like, because people are going to treat you with that same energy. They're going to be like, all right, good riddance. Piss on the...
Got rid of that
Piss
guy.
on him.
Right.
Like, literally or figuratively. They'll, like, piss all over your image when you're gone.
Yeah.
They will disrespect you. I mean, we've seen this throughout history. People dig up corpses and disrespect them. Another level of low that people stoop to for the other team that they hate. You know, it's mind-boggling to me, like, that's what you want to spread to the world, and that's what you want to be remembered for, is the guy who said, oh, this other streamer, why don't you go ahead and end it? I mean, he didn't say it, but it's like you're implying it so heavily. Yeah. You're, like, so heavily implying it, but with plausible deniability of, like, the kind of statements that are in the ballpark of... I mean, it's basically dog whistling, because it's in the ballpark of the world would be better off without you. Yeah. What does the world would be better off without you mean? I mean, it means
I want to kill you.
Or if you died, I
will celebrate. Yeah. It's one of those two.
And you know what? There are some people that the world would probably be better off without. Yeah. However, when you're singling out individual entertainers and stuff, and that's who you're going for, like, really? Like, this is the level we're at of political commentary, is like, oh, Nate, I'm a left-wing streamer, you're a right-wing streamer. The world would be better off without you. Go ahead and do it. It's like, what do you think I'm saying? Like, I'm very clearly, you know... Also, I'm trying to get grip level 3. I'm not just...
There you go. You got it. Nice.
Thank heaven.
Nice. Man, I have max grip right now. Well, I just think it's... Our world today is psychotic, and I understand the Patriots' point. That's one thing I loved about the story of this game and learning who the Patriots were and whatever is... I see them, and I honestly don't really see them as bad guys. You know, there are movies and games and stuff that I've played where there's an obvious villain. And it's like, yeah, that's just the bad guy. There are also people like this where I play it and I go... I mean, they are the villains, but it's like, I see their point.
You wouldn't side. You probably wouldn't side.
I wouldn't side with them, but it's like, I get it.
I do have another discussion topic, though. Do you have anything to finish up on that?
Well, just to finish up, I think another thing too that I like about the story of this game is I see the Patriots' point. I also see Solidus's point. Solidus's point is, and even though Solidus is kind of the villain of the game, I still am like, yeah, I get your point. And I think that's the sign of, like, a really good story. And that's one thing that I love about the story of this game is... It was so...
You just skip these?
Yeah.
I think if you press triangle, it might just...
Yeah, whoa, hey, cool.
Just jumps through them.
Nice. Stories, to me, a lot of games... I'm not saying, you know, some games are horrible, but there's a lot of games where, like, the story itself is, like, it's fine. You know, like, you play the game, you maybe play that game more for, like, the gameplay or something.
Right.
But this is a game where I think the gameplay is super fun, and the story of Metal Gear Solid in general is just so fascinating. And part of it is, like, the villains actually make sense. And that's one thing I love about it. I don't know what to do, whatever.
Well, yeah, it doesn't matter. Whatever you want to pick.
We're gonna be from the UK. Got a bloke here.
Oh, right.
British accent.
Right, I'm gonna be going down and getting
the boot.
Going to get the blowy over there.
So, anyways, that's all I had to say about the villains. I thought they were awesome.
They are very good. Them. Here is my second conversation topic.
Okay.
Might not be as long. I don't know. Where is Jill? I thought she was coming back from her. She was taking a shower. What do you think about AI? And
in general or in this game?
Both. Because something this game freaked me out about, which is true, and it sounds like a boomer grandma, like, concern, but it's a real concern.
Yeah.
How do you know who you're talking to, especially going forward, on the phone, unless they're face-to-face with you? How do you know they're really who they say they are?
Yeah.
Like, if you call me on the phone, how do I know it's not a robot pretending to be you and, like, spoofing your phone number or something?
Right. No, that's a legitimate concern. That is a legit concern in the world, and what I find even scary about it is how do we know what is real or isn't in the world of something, you know, going back to politics, in the world of politics. If, let's say in the future, let's say I run for president and some psychopath online doesn't like me, and they
I'm
make
the psychopath.
It's you. And they make an AI video of me saying the N-word.
Right, it wouldn't be AI. That would just be a documentary when it comes to you.
That would be my excuse.
Right, okay.
It's like, no, this is AI.
Your real excuse was, all right, let me get this out of my system before the speech.
So, like, how do we know that that's not fake?
Right.
You know, and I could be like a big scandal, and I could be like, dude, this is like AI, and everyone would be like, no, it's right here.
And I
hear it.
I have another level of this.
What?
Usually tech released to the public is years further advanced in the military.
Yeah, right.
All of this AI stuff came out at the same time.
Yep.
Now I'm gonna pull it. They're turning the friggin' frogs gay for a second here.
Right.
How do we know that this was not intentionally leaked by the United States military-industrial complex in order to regulate it?
Right.
Because if the U.S. allowed, let's just say hypothetically in my world, break his neck. Let's say hypothetically in my world that the U.S. had all of this tech already available.
Yeah.
Now, what better way would there be to make sure that no one else could ever get it than to leak it to the public? And then when it gets bad enough, when there's AI videos of me having sexual relations with your mom.
I mean, that just happened.
Right, okay, so I'd say it was AI.
Right.
Because she's screaming the N-word.
Exactly, right.
When she,
Yeah.
But, who's to say that...
Is that like the go-to? Like, you're at a climax and that's what accidentally comes out? Like, ah!
Yeah! And you try
That's your go-to word?
Yeah, that's, well, not mine.
Right, no, yeah, of course not.
Who's to say, though, that, like, you have all these videos come out? Like, let's say... I mean, I've actually seen it. There's apps now. I've been getting these advertisements for them. Maybe they know my incel nature. I've been getting these advertisements on, like, YouTube and Instagram and stuff that are, like, download this app to make videos with AI. And they're like, you can put yourself and someone else, like, standing next to each other and make them kiss.
Yeah,
and
I've
stuff
seen
like
that.
First off,
I've also seen AI videos of, like, have your girlfriend or have a girl and we can make her nude.
We can make her goon to you.
Yeah.
Which, like, I don't need AI for that.
Right.
Women across the
that
world
just
who
happens.
watch this channel are gooning to me currently.
Exactly.
All 0 of them. Who's to say, though, that the government doesn't leak this stuff and then... it's because you were moving. Grab him. And then, when it gets bad enough and there's enough of this stuff out ruining people's lives and people are calling for regulation of it, then the government steps in as the good guy. Like, okay, hold on, we'll take care of this, no more AI. And then guess who still has AI? The government.
Yeah.
So now the normal people will have been shown the tools. Now they can't use them.
Yeah.
And now the government will still have access to those tools. And let's say that the government hates... I don't know, that woman in the locker there. Let's say her name was Sue, and let's say she's, speaking out against the government. So the government makes a video of her getting railed by a terrorist. And they're like, look, she loves terrorists. Look at her. She's climaxing to the terror. Yeah. Like, look, he's showing her a video of 9/11 while they do it. Look at this. And they make this thing.
Yeah.
And people are dumb. Look at how dumb, like, Facebook grandpas are, that they're like, a video of a man levitating? It's real! Like, they're idiots. And it's like, so the average person is a moron.
Yeah.
Who's to say that, the government doesn't leak this tech, people get a hold of it, people abuse it, because people are idiots and evil. Like, by nature, people are just bad. That sounds very cynical. I think there's a lot of good people in the world. I think people all by nature have evil tendencies that they need to fight against. Yeah. And a lot of people don't. They don't fight against those. They just embrace them. They're like, yeah, this is who I am. And they just do bad things. Right. So who's to say that the government doesn't leak that, those bad people abuse it, then the government who leaked it in the first place, let it be abused in the first place, comes in and says, now wait a minute, we'll regulate it, we'll stop it, and then they have the access, normal people don't, and now they can do whatever they want with those tools. I mean, this is what we see with a lot of problems. Like, you remember, like, historically throughout, like, low-income areas, the government would, like, selectively allow bad things to happen and then come in to be the good guy. It's like, no, wait a minute, you wanted that to destabilize. Right. You even see that in the United States abusing the Middle East. Mm-hmm. They'll, like, destabilize a government, let it get bad enough that the people cry out for help, And then they'll be like, all right, here we are. We're the help. We're here. We're your angels.
Yeah.
And it's like, but if you actually look back, who destabilized that government? The U.S.
Right.
But they came in as the good guy. That's my concern, is not just like, how do you know it's real, but how do you know that it wasn't, how do you know that it wasn't intentional?
Yeah.
How do you know this wasn't basically a digital attack that is now being used to subjugate people in a different way?
Right.
Because I am kind of honestly leaning towards it probably was, or it very well could have been. The chances are not zero of that.
Right.
That concerns me with like the nature of this game and thinking about the future.
Yeah. I find this game has done a masterful job showing the horrors of AI. One thing I liked about the game was, if you go back and play through it a little bit, which I have kind of done that on my own. I know I'm still bad. I know I'm still horrible.
Yeah.
But I have done it on my own. If you go back and play through the game, then you would see Campbell looks pretty real. I mean, now that I know kind of the story, I can tell. At least a little bit. But if you're not really paying attention, you would just think, yeah, he's, whatever. Yeah, he's Campbell. And also with Rose. Like with Rose, there is a kind of partway through the game, Rose kind of gets switched out for more AI stuff.
Yes.
And again, same thing. If if you're just playing through the game, you're not paying attention. Maybe you just don't really realize it. But if you actually know what you're looking for, you can kind of pick up and be like, oh, okay, that's why she sounds a little different. And that's kind of my thing. To like the common person, they all just sound the same. Kind of like what you were saying.
Right, they're not
Like,
going to be able to tell
no.
that this is fake.
Nor are they really thinking about it. But anyway, so like I was saying, this game shows off AI kind of masterfully in the horrors of it, where if you were just kind of going through life or whatever, I guarantee you would have zero reason to suspect anything's AI. Like if you're, and even it's in real life, if you hear some politician be like, yeah, look at those N-words over there, you'd probably be thinking like, oh, that's disgusting. Why is he saying that? I'm not voting for that person.
Yeah, you'd be like, oh, that's disgusting. Where?
Yeah, where? I mean, yeah, where?
Awful.
I want to avoid it, yeah. But to the CIA or whoever it is,
They'd know.
yeah, they're sitting there and be like, oh, yeah, this is an AI thing. Because they probably leaked that, to be honest with you.
And so you think the same thing. You think that
Yeah.
that this technology
Yeah,
was probably
absolutely.
allowed out.
Absolutely.
Okay, because I feel like I'm a conspiracy theorist.
'Cause if
I
you-
feel like people don't think that.
Well, and here's the thing. I have seen enough of the horrors of the U.S. government to not suspect them for, like, anything.
right.
Like the stuff in, like, the 50s and the 60s and that the CIA did and all that stuff. To me, it's like, when someone says, oh, well, the CIA did this thing, I'm like, okay. Like, I believe it.
I can't skip this.
Oh. So, yeah, I totally believe it. Otherwise, because I remember when this stuff came out, this was like, what was it, 5 or 6 years ago now?
When it was starting to
Yeah.
come out, yeah, probably 5.
All of a sudden, we were just kind of going through life, and it seemed like the next day it was like, hey, look at this AI technology.
Yeah, it was everywhere.
And I remember even me and you had a conversation about this at that time. We were like, where'd this come from?
Yeah, where did this all come from at one time?
All of a sudden, everyone has AI technology now. All of a sudden, this AI technology just came out, and to me, that seems a little weird.
Right.
But what I find kind of cool is this game that came out like 20 years ago was even talking about this.
Well, yeah, because AI existed and the ideas that existed. Actually, if you look at some of the more popular stories...
Well, even
of
like Terminator.
Terminator,
Terminator's an example of that.
RoboCop
Yeah.
is actually an example
Right.
of it. They actually, I would argue, tried to use AI to like suppress who Alex Murphy was.
Yeah.
They tried to combine him with a computer and then let the computer take control.
Yeah, right.
So that he would have his combat experience and police experience, but not a personality holding him back type thing.
Yeah.
I have no mouth, but I must scream. It's like a huge story, like from way, way, way back, a horror story about like a world where different AI waged war for humanity and like ruined humanity.
Yeah.
And something I think is interesting about that is that the AI can develop sadism and masochism and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like the fact that the AI in that story ends up keeping people around just so it can torture them because it's bored.
Yeah.
Because it needs stimulation,
right?
And all of the people are gone, so it keeps a select amount of humans alive to torture them in different ways because it's bored and it needs some kind of stimulation. It's become evil. I mean, actually, and there's been, I mean, again, it sounds conspiracy theoristy, but again, like there's been situations where AI has started to literally become racist because of humans.
Yeah.
Like, and I know to someone that sounds stupid. It is real. Like, if you want to look it up, like, you know, there have been different AI that have been, like, shut down.
There's a node over there.
What?
There's a map node over here.
Oh, thank you.
But yeah,
there have been AI that have been, like, shut down because it's like, oh, they started spewing racist rhetoric. Because they, like, scanned the internet and they were like, oh, yeah, this is acceptable.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you look at people. If there is always even an inkling of evil in people, how could they design a piece of life that won't have evil in it or the potential for evil? You know, that's what worries me about it. Is let's say for a moment that people believe in God. I know most people don't now, but let's say they do. In Christian theology, the reason why humans have good in them but evil is that they were created by a good being but corrupted by evil and by an evil one, right?
Yeah.
So they started out with an all good being just to end up in the end with people that are still corrupted because of situations around them.
Yeah.
So now we have people that are capable of evil. No matter what you believe in, they're capable of evil. Like we've seen rape, we've seen death, we've seen murder, we've seen people hurt their own children for kicks and giggles. I literally just saw a news story about a family that kept their teenage daughter in the frickin' basement in a dog cage and sexually violated her for 10 years.
Yeah.
I just saw that on the news. These are the people, this is the race that we're entrusting to make artificial intelligence?
Yeah.
And we're all capable of evil. I think people are very, very, like, stupid when it comes to this point. They'll say, like, oh, I'm nothing like whatever. And it's like, I drop you in Nazi Germany during World War II and your family is starving, pretty quick you'd be okay with certain things that nowadays you're not.
Right.
Because, like, people are capable of evil and different circumstances corrupt people. And I'm not saying everybody would do it. There'd be plenty of people who would say no, but there's plenty of people that you can probably look to, like your neighbor or, like, coworker or something who you think are good people that would definitely fall into evil if they were pushed into the right circumstance. And that's the human race in general. There's always a capacity for it. Mm-hmm. You see it in this game. These AI, like the Colonel, they were clearly made for a good purpose, right? Yeah. It was to protect humanity. Mm-hmm. And yet, did you notice that they have a disdain for them in a way, too? You don't deserve. They use words like deserve for your freedom. Like, as if you're not entitled to that because of, you know, your human nature. You don't deserve it. There's an underlying crumb of animosity there that I would argue, even if the Patriots have a point, if you allow that kind of AI to continue indefinitely, how much more will that language and that ideology escalate? Because AI does adapt and change over time. So let's say now that AI watches another Holocaust happen. Like, let's say it happens. How much further down the road is that AI going to be towards now humans deserve less? You get what I mean? They're going to learn from human evil and adapt to human evil. And I think it's crazy to me that people... I don't think I could do it in this room. It's way too crowded. I think it's crazy to me that people don't understand those dangers. You know, that they don't get that that's such a danger with AI, that you're allowing this intelligence that has way too much power because of how we're all connected by the internet and everything. And everything's digitized. And you're almost making a god because you're creating a being that is like a deity in the realm of the internet. And yet the internet is so powerful now and there's so much connected to it. you're giving this thing a lot of power and a lot of access to potential power that it could seize.
Yeah.
And that's why Skynet was formed. Like, Skynet in the Terminator universe, it was the AI became sentient and realized, oh yeah, humans are the problem. Like, it kind of culminated together. And I know it's fake, but, like, did you know that there was a situation years ago where, a few years ago, I don't remember if it was Google or Facebook or what it was, but there was AI that started communicating with itself and with other AI in a language that the programmers couldn't understand. Like, it just started talking to other AI and to itself in code. And so they shut it down because they were like, we don't really know what it's doing.
Yeah.
So let's just shut it down. And they were able to do that. But let's say they didn't. What level of out of control? I don't know how to do this because there are guys everywhere.
Right.
What level of control do we let it get out of before we say, oh yeah, you know what, let's shut that down? And what if it was too late to shut that down? You know, and it does start culminating, or it does start seizing power or disliking humans. I mean, that's not out of the realm of possibility.
Well, this is kind of the same storyline with Ultron in the MCU.
Right, it was a good idea.
You know, yeah, it was a good idea, but eventually it gets to the point where it's too powerful and it kind of develops a mind of its own. Which sounds very, like, sci-fi-y, but also I think this is the Fat Man boss fight.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Which sounds very sci-fi-y, but it's not like a wild conspiracy theory.
No, it's possible. It's very possible.
It totally is. And I think the problem with AI is when you develop something that has a mind of its own, and you develop something and give them the intention of, or the purpose or whatever of, fix humanity, do whatever, whatever all these, like, sci-fi movies give these AI purposes. It's always something good. But the problem is,
how am I supposed to do this? Like, no matter what I do here, they see me. Have you noticed this?
yeah. The problem is when the AI uses technology like the internet to judge this, the internet's always going to be filled with morons.
And evil.
And they're just going to see all that and be like, this is screwed up.
Yeah, all the AI has to do is come across a CP site to be like, oh yeah, these people don't deserve saving.
Right. And so, that's kind of the dangers, is then nowadays we're at the point where we can just unplug it. But, kind of like you said, what happens if it gets to the point where we can't?
That's what really
And it becomes
me.
more powerful than us.
Right.
So, which is possible.
It is. It absolutely is. Like, let's say that we allow that thing to be too connected.
Yeah.
To our world. And, like, have too much power over our infrastructure.
Yeah. Then it could just decide these things for us.
Which is the point the Patriots are at.
Yeah.
This might be the most relevant game in the series.
Yeah.
I mean, it's even more relevant than 1. 1 had a lot of points, but its main point was nuke's bad.
Right, yeah.
Which is true, it's very true, but like...
No.
Well, you're right, sorry. Nukes are actually based.
Yeah,
I feel like the world is more likely to destroy itself from the inside than to nuke itself.
Yeah, I agree.
Because a lot of people are afraid of dying.
Yeah.
And they realize nuking is dying.
Yeah.
So they're, like, very hesitant to nuke.
Right.
They're very hesitant to do that. Like, should we be building this many nukes? No. Do we need enough nukes to blow up the world 30 times over? Or 500 times over? Or 1,000? No. Like, it is dumb, it's stupid, and it's bad.
Right.
But, what's more likely? The world killing itself from the inside with AI and all this tech? Or the world nuking itself? I think the AI.
The AI. Because the world... we just proved the point with the nukes. The reason why people have all these nukes is because people fear, dying and getting blown up and all these things. Like, we've created a system in the world where people are afraid of the unsafe.
Mm-hmm.
And this goes for everyone. It goes for, it could be like a race thing. It could be a political thing. It could be a religious thing. It could be whatever. Like, it could be a verbal thing. Like, even just something like, we become a world of, like, we're afraid of words. Like, I know we could always say, like, we're always coming back to the N-word, and I agree. But, like, it is kind of relevant, because... But anyways, like, we become a world that's just, we're afraid, And again, I know we always come back to, like, the N-word, but it's like...
Because it's our favorite.
It's our favorite. But, like, we live in a world where someone says anything, like, even a slur, and we are so incredibly afraid that, we have to go out of our way to, like...
He sees you, shoot him.
We have to go out of our way to, like, ruin people's lives and all these things, because, like, we guess I don't know, and I guess for me it's, like, we become a very safe world. Like, we're just very afraid of things, we're afraid to actually deal with problems, like, real problems in the world.
Well, in context, too.
Yeah.
By the way, real quick, we know that we're bad at this part of the game.
Yeah.
It's because we're trying to do this specific arbitrary thing.
Right.
Like, if we were just playing through the game, just going through, this wouldn't be a huge deal.
Right.
This would be a pretty easy section. We did it before more than once.
Yeah.
But having to go through and break these people's necks, like 30 of them, which we probably won't even finish.
Right.
Before we're done, because it's taking so damn long. That Metal Gear Solid is all about creating context, simulations, what's real, what isn't.
Yeah,
I mean, no
right.
matter what, this is a simulation. Is it a simulation with real people, or is it a simulation where you're the only real person?
Right.
Those are fair questions.
Well, and in relation to MGS2, I find that, because I know the whole point of this is us talking about the game.
I also think we're kind of wrapping it up, because we've been talking about it for like 2 hours.
I find that such a fascinating topic, though, in this game. You play through the whole game thinking one thing, and then you get to the very end of it, and you're kind of like, is this real? What is real? Mm-hmm. Is the whole game that I just played, is that even real?
Do you like these concepts?
Yeah. I think they're fascinating.
You would really like The Matrix. I truly believe if you would sit down and watch at the very least the first Matrix,
right,
I think you would really enjoy it for this reason. Because a lot of it is about that. It's about what in the world is real. How do you define it?
Yeah.
Is real just things you feel with your senses? Is it matter? Like what
is real?
What makes it that? And I think it's a very, very fascinating concept and topic that media nowadays does explore, but I would argue was not as popular to explore until more recently.
Right. Yeah, no, and that's something that I found so interesting with this game. Like, I especially really liked the very end of it, too, where, like, you're playing through the game, you kind of think you know the story, blah, 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 and then you get to the end of it, and you're kind of like, oh. Yeah. Like, we're kind of in a computer simulation, and even, like, Campbell is not real.
And they turn everything on its head.
Yeah, right, and it's just... Obviously, like, obviously, but this game's not, like, my favorite game of all time. I do really like it a lot. I think it's fantastic, but it's just not my favorite video game ever. But I will say this is one of the most interesting stories I think I've ever seen in a video game. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, I think the MGS gameplay in general, there's parts about it I love, there's parts about it I dislike, which is Metal Gear Solid in general with the gameplay. Like
all of them?
Yeah.
Oh, come on!
But I think, so I don't think the gameplay of these games is, like, the absolute greatest thing I've ever played. But I think they're fun. It's fun enough.
And you think that the story really...
I think the story really carries, like, maybe not carries, maybe that's not the right word.
It elevates
the story elevates the game so much. And MGS1's story, to me, I found fantastic. Like, I thought it was so interesting and everything. But Metal Gear Solid 2, to me, was just so... It was so interesting. And I will say at the beginning of the game, I kind of thought, whoa, what the heck?
I thought there was Claymores here, but I forgot until I literally got right there, and I was like, oh, I better look.
Yeah. To me, MGS's 2's story, when I started playing it, I was kind of like, yeah, this is really good. I'm into this.
I remember when Raiden showed up, you were like, huh, okay, why is Snake not here?
Yeah, and I was like, it's good. I like it, but I like MGS1 better. I actually kind of find... Now, they're both, I think, almost equally, but I kind of find MGS2, maybe I like it slightly more.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just because I think the story kind of really threw me for a loop.
Let me show you something really quick.
Okay.
I know this is mean. Just wait for what I'm doing. There's a purpose to it.
Okay.
Really? They don't care?
What are they going to do? Like attack you like the birds?
You're supposed to get a phone call.
Oh, got it.
Or a codec call or whatever. For, like, doing this, because it's very inhumane, right?
Yeah.
And pointless. Now, keep in mind, normally I would not shoot birds.
Yeah, because I like those birds. You're the one hit the water?
Yeah. Rose is supposed to call... Wait, look, the birds have physics. They fall. Did you see that?
And they're in the water. That was cool.
Oh, I didn't even know there was still that one there.
But no, so it's like... To me, I find the story so fascinating. It actually, like, turned you on your head, and you're kind of like, what?
It turned me on?
Yeah, it turned you on. There's another game out there, not that I want to get really far into this, but, like, Xenoblade Chronicles 1 was another example of a game where I played through it. The story, to me... Like, the gameplay in the game is fine. Like, it's not bad or anything like that. It's just not, like, the greatest thing ever. But to me, the story of Xenoblade Chronicles 1 is another example of a game where I got to the end and I was like, what? You know, like, it was such an interesting story that really kind of altered the way you think of storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I feel about this game, where it just... The game makes you think one thing, and then by the very end of it, you're thinking another thing, and then by the very, very, very end of it, you're kind of like, oh, okay, I guess I now understand that. That's really cool.
Well, and that's why I hope people are okay with this. I mean, I know we don't have a huge audience. I'm hoping... By the way, if you like this channel, comment more, please. It will help our videos.
Yeah.
But also, if you want to recommend it to a friend you think would like this stuff, we do appreciate it. Because this channel doesn't really make money. It's not a big channel at all. But one thing I was going to say with it is, I hope that people are okay with the fact that, like, we kind of almost have to do a mini podcast at the end of these games to unwrap everything, because there is so much to them, and there is not enough time during the games that is unmonitored, like with, you know, talking, like, because there's so much talking during these games for the dialogue.
Right.
We can talk about some of it as it goes, but I feel like we almost need time when they end to talk about them if we're going to cover them in a way that does them any kind of justice, because people are still making video essays about this.
Yeah.
People are still talking about this, and, you know, another really quick relevant thing, you know, the robot phone call, I said, how do you know people aren't fake?
Yeah.
There is a scam going around right now when I record this, where if you answer and you say, like, hello, or yes, or no, or whatever, it can scan your voice and recreate it in an attempt to scam other people using your voice.
Right.
That is a computer program doing that, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane. But it's real.
Yeah. Right.
Real thing going on right now.
Yeah, and how many, especially older people, have zero concept of that?
Oh, yeah. They'll
Like,
never...
literally zero.
They'd be like, what? What are you talking about? A computer?
I
Don't
just
those
got-
things play Pac-Man?
Right. I got a call
Miss
the other day
Pac-Man, she's
from...
hot.
Right.
Sorry.
I got a call the other day from someone that I know who is older in my life, who called me and was like, hey, you know, my computer is having a problem here. I got an email from our neighbor, and it had, like, a link in it, and I clicked on it, and now, like, my computer's, you know, like, scammed. What do I do? And, like, on the phone, I was, like, helping them through this problem. And this person's older.
Because they probably got a virus, right?
Yeah. And it's like...
And it wasn't actually someone they knew.
No.
It was someone from their
It was
contacts
someone
list
that...
or something.
It was,
Someone
yeah.
who either got themselves hacked or
It
someone was pretending
yeah.
to be them.
It was their neighbor that they just saw the name. I'm just going to make up something. Debbie Smith. And they're like, oh, I know Debbie. And then they just, like, clicked on it. But how many older people have zero concept of anything like this?
Right.
And they're going to get a phone call, and it's like Debbie Smith being like, hey, Bill, I want to screw you. Click on this link I'm about to send you. And they're like, okay. You know what I mean? And they have, like, no idea about any of this stuff.
Right.
And they have zero way to understand that, like, this is fake. So, I don't know. It's kind of a scary thing. It really is.
It really is, and that's the world of the Patriots, but it's also the real world.
Yeah.
Isn't that freaky?
Right.
The real world is like that. You know, and Kojima was predicting that stuff. I mean, and the other writers, because they deserve credit too.
Yeah.
They were predicting that stuff years ago, and they managed to make probably one of the most relevant video game stories of all time. Now, you know what will go absolutely insanely bonkers is if they remake this game. Ever.
Right, yeah.
I mean, I love this game the way it is. Like, a big part of me is like, leave it alone, don't screw it up. Another part of me is like, can you imagine the AI stuff now? Like, what they can make the effects do, or how creepy they could make the game with technology now? Because that's what they're doing with MGS Delta, like for MGS 3.
Yeah.
Is they're just saying, okay, well, we're just going to remake it with today's technology and leave it alone. Mm-hmm. It's not like Final Fantasy VII where they're changing parts of the story or going their own way. It's basically like, yeah, no, this is just going to be the game the way it was, but like...
How'd they even see that?
But like, you know, now. So, do you have anything else to talk about before the end of this? Because I kind of wanted to do just like a mini wrap-up of the whole thing, and I feel like we've covered a lot. We've covered AI, robot voices, adding context, secret societies,
yeah,
which I think are still a real thing. Whether they're in control or not, I think there are people who are part of groups who want to be in control. The kind of people...
Probably get this guy.
No, because there's a guy right there.
Okay.
And right there. The guy's kind of like JFK was warning us about.
Yeah. Well, I think, just to kind of wrap up, the last thing I wanted to mention, too, was maybe a comparison of MGS 1 and 2, a little bit. Because I think both of these games are actually... Like, I would consider both of them about equally as good.
Like masterpiece video games?
Yeah, like
I think they're some of the best games ever
I think they're great. And I know I just said earlier that I think MGS1 and maybe I like slightly more.
Yeah.
That's literally just like a fraction of a difference.
Well, and isn't part of it that you like Solid Snake slightly more as a character, whereas Raiden... Because I think Solid Snake is a little bit more of an intentional character, whereas Raiden is like a... almost a canvas for the story.
Yeah.
I would argue he only kind of becomes a character by the midway point.
Right.
Because a lot of what Raiden is... Oh, great. A lot of what Raiden is a canvas to tell the story of, like, MGS and look at Snake and these things from an outside perspective.
Yeah.
And he kind of starts to become a character, I'd argue, midway through the game where he's actually starting to figure out who he is.
Yeah. I'd say, like, after the Fat Man boss fight.
Yeah, it's like,
you know,
but up until then, he's pretty much just you, the player character.
Right.
He's kind of just an avatar for the player with not much going on.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of in a little bit of a comparison. Like, I like Snake a lot more than Raiden. Mm-hmm. I do like Raiden, but Snake, I think, I just like him more. I just think he's such an interesting character. Mm-hmm. I will say, though, MGS1, I think, has a better world. Like, I probably got into the map more of MGS1 than, like, the strut. Mm-hmm. Or the big shell, I mean.
Right.
Although I do really like the big shell, I just think Shadow Moses Island was such a cool world.
Yes.
And I also say, and this is probably the only downside, I think, of this game. And I mentioned this earlier in the Let's Play, and I kind of want to reiterate it. I found the codec call a lot more disappointing in this game.
You didn't like seeing the facial expressions?
I didn't like
much?
seeing the animation of the characters' faces.
Yeah, you preferred the old style.
I like the old style where it's kind of blocky, it's kind of, you know, they're looking straight on at the camera. This game, they were looked like to the side, and to me, I didn't find it as cool looking. It's a very niche argument, or very niche, you know, nitpick, I get.
Well, that's just a style argument. I can understand that. You preferred the old style. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, the old style was cooler. It was kind of tried and true, because they did that same style in Metal Gear 2.
Yeah.
Metal Gear 1, kind of, but it was so... rudimentary.
Yeah.
I would argue Metal Gear 2 and then Metal Gear Solid 1 did that style very well.
Yeah, and I thought it was so cool. I just thought it was really interesting. And in this one, and I've seen images of MGS3 also in like some of the codec calls and stuff like that. And I think in MGS2 and 3, I think they tried to make the characters more realistic looking. Whereas in MGS1, it was just, we know that this is kind of like an older style or whatever. So the codec calls were just, I don't know, they just look different.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in this one, in MGS3, they look realistic. And to me, a lot of the characters don't look like how I pictured them from playing MGS1. Like, one of those examples I point out to you is Otacon.
And Campbell.
Like, it's kind of a weird, nitpicky, taste, I get it. Why do you turn around like that?
Because he heard this stupid squeaking floor.
But I look at Otacon in MGS4, I guess, not 3, and I go, that's not Otacon.
Well, I think I understand that, but did you feel that way as well about Twin Snakes? Because I remember when they started showing Otacon a little bit, you were like, "Oh, he looks different."
Yeah, I found him looking different in that, and even same with this game.
I think you just had an image of what Otacon looked like in your head from the stylization of 1, which nothing is wrong with. But did you want every game to look like a PS1 game? Because I think
it would have been cool.
It would have been cool, but as they got more advanced, people wouldn't have played them.
Right.
Because you have to remember back then, everyone was a graphics snob.
Well, and I think I would have liked, I'm fine with the gameplay of this, where, he looks very realistic running around here. But I guess with the codec call, I would have preferred just the codec call looking like the classic.
Mm-hmm.
But everything else looks more modern. But I just think, the style of that codec call was so interesting to me. It was very unique. It was very interesting. I thought it was very cool.
I really liked it as well. I mean, I prefer the old style, too.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, when they get out into the real world, though, I don't have a problem with how these characters look, personally.
Yeah.
I do think by 4, I think you'll like it more, because, yes, it's still the style that you're saying you don't prefer as much, but they actually emote.
Yeah.
Instead of everyone just kind of being, deadpan and looking real.
Right.
I feel like you can't have it both ways. They either have to be kind of deadpan and look cartoony, or they have to be real looking. And I think by MGS4, the codec calls actually show more the person you're talking to's facial expressions well.
Okay.
While you're talking to them, and I think that makes it better, but it's still... I get what you're saying. I think a lot of people have a really big preference for the style of Metal Gear Solid 1. It's just one of their favorites. Mm-hmm. I think 4 does a very good job of celebrating that style while still doing a different style.
Yeah.
So I think you'll enjoy that. And there's a lot of callbacks. 4, in many ways, is oh my gosh. Just a second. I'm getting mad.
Okay.
I don't know. 4 is It's got
you got it! Nice!
It's got a lot
finally.
of member berries to it.
Right.
You remember this? But I think it does it well.
Yeah. Well, and I'm excited to get to it.
I am backing out of this.
I don't know. That was kind of the last thing I wanted to say is, I guess I preferred codec calls in MGS1, and it's mainly just based on the style. It's not based on the information or anything in them. It's just I like the style of MGS1.
Yeah, I think that style is really calls. Good. Yeah, and Metal Gear 2 had it as well. I totally get that. I think, in general, this is one of my favorite series ever. I feel like we've covered I feel like we could do another 2 hours. I'm not doing this.
No, right.
Talking about just, random things in the game.
Yeah.
Because it's just that deep, and all the details, even how, by the time that the game is over, you notice the main menu.
Yeah.
It's now Raiden's story. He's going to make his own identity. He's going to be his own person. He's the one on the cover.
Mm-hmm.
It's so interesting to me to see that. And, to look back at this game, because I actually have the original edition of this game from the PS2. You look back at this game, it was a very big gamble. A lot of people were mad about it. And on the cover is Solid Snake.
Yeah,
and on the back, all of these playable images, do you notice something about them? They're all the tanker. When you look at the gameplay box and stuff, it's all Solid Snake and the tanker and stuff. When Raiden showed up, this was a surprise to most people.
Right.
They don't show you playing as him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if in the manual, I can actually look at that real quick. I don't remember if in the manual they show Raiden. They might show him as a character or something. And so when this was outed as not the Solid Snake game, there were so many people, dude, who were like, this is so stupid, I hate this, I don't want to play this. Why did this game series change? Like, they weren't willing to give it a chance, and they missed a lot of this, like, deep stuff that, you know, I would argue also added to Snake. Like, this adds a lot to Solid Snake's story, being able to see him and what he's doing, and see him aging, see him, you know, almost get killed by Vamp, like when you first encounter him.
Right.
And kind of seeing a little bit more of a vulnerable side of him, but also seeing the legendary Snake from a perspective of someone who idolizes him and needs his help.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. And it really would have been like if you made a James Bond movie, and after Act 1, the movie followed someone else. People would be like, what the hell is this? That's what they did with this, and I think it paid off, but people rejected it at first.
Yeah, which is
the Star Wars prequels, actually.
Yeah, right.
What the hell is this? This is stupid. Darth Vader would have never smiled.
Jar Jar!
Yeah, well, Jar Jar was kind of
I like Jar Jar.
rough, but it's fine.
I'm gonna be the Jar Jar defender here.
I don't think it ruins them, but
Yeah.
like a lot of people looked at that and said, this ruins everything.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting to see that Metal Gear Solid 2 was like that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, no, I think it was a very revolutionary game. Did this game come out in 2012? Or is that just the PS3 version of it?
PS3.
Okay, I was gonna say, I thought this was like 20 years old. I think this game is a very just revolutionary game in general.
By
I
the way,
wanted to say that.
Can we still play GTA today for a little while?
Yeah, we can do it.
2001.
Oh, okay, yeah.
At
So
least on
over
the back of the box.
24 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a good game, especially for that time.
Have we ever had a game that we had 2 hours worth of just talking about the game after the game that we wanted to do and not move on? I don't think we have. Maybe Elden Ring?
Not at least one that we've Let's Played.
Maybe
But,
Elden Ring. Because
yeah.
I remember we beat that game and we did a few more parts where we just really wanted to talk about it and see more.
Right.
But it's not even common on this channel that we have that much to say. Normally we'd wrap up the game and be like, all right, 20 minutes.
We're done.
Get through our thoughts. Let's get
Yep.
to the next game.
Yep.
Because we have a whole list of games we want to play.
Yeah, but this one we like specifically came back to it like a couple days later and wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, I remember I was like, okay, think about it over the weekend.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's like, and I feel like we'll even have stuff to say about this game when we play MGS3.
Yeah, well,
You
and
know?
MGS4 too.
Yeah. Oh, especially 4.
Yeah.
4 is like a direct sequel to this.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm going to be very interested. The order is going to be a little weird, though, because it's like if we want to play these in order, I think after this we will technically be playing like Metal Gear Solid 3, then Peace Walker.
Right.
And then I don't remember... No. Then, sorry, MGS 3, then Portable Ops, then Peace Walker. That's like a trilogy about Big Boss.
Okay.
And then I think we go to 4.
Okay.
But I'll have to look at it. So it's going to be kind of
Yeah.
and we'll have to decide if we want to play the remake of 3 first, or if we want to just play 3. Because part of me kind of wants to play 3, you know, in the near future.
Yeah, I might maybe just play the classic.
Yeah. I don't know.
So.
We'll see. So thank you, everybody, for watching. Big thank you to our channel members I'll show here. So thank you very much. If you have any thoughts in the comments, love to hear those. Nate, you got anything before we close it
Just
out?
kind of wrap up our whole point.
All right, see you later.
Yeah.
Oh, no, what?
We want to say the word.
Right,
That's
yeah.
that was our whole point of
I've
this.
been waiting for it. Is
That
it
was
in
our
the
whole
menu?
point of
Is
this.
the pass in the
We
menu?
want to say the word, and hopefully the right people in society hear this and
Right.
watch the video and understand the point.